Okay, welcome back. In this video, as you saw from the thumbnail, we are building the Ray Harryhausen 1/72nd scale Rhedosaurus, however you want to pronounce it. This was from the Beast of 20,000 Fathoms, inspired by the short story by Ray Bradbury called The Foghorn. And you saw in that picture there, it's a very iconic scene, which lasts in the movie less than 2 minutes. But I mean, the movie was loosely adapted from the short story. So going on to starting it up here. The kit is from X Plus, who you've seen in the past on this channel with the Revenge of the Creature plastic model. Really, really cool kit. The seam lines are not as hidden as well as the creature from that previous kit, but I mean, a little bit of putty goes a long way, and for the most part, it's like a really just a fun kit. And I do plan on lighting this. We got a breathing LED right there for the lamp and the bezel of the lighthouse, and I'll be putting some flickering tea light LEDs in the windows, or close by the windows, so you see the flickering there. And look at that, dark plastic. Perfect for lighting, perfect for hiding light leaks. And I'll be using some masks from Aztec Dummy as well. It's the second set of masks I've purchased from him, Lou Del Meso over at Aztec Dummy, but the first that I've actually gotten a chance to use. So we're going to have some fun with those later. There is a nice base here. Enough room for the creature, enough room for the lighthouse, enough room underneath for the lighting and the wires. And I think the biggest challenge is going to be filling in those seams on the lighthouse since it's a brick texture. I was originally going to just say forget about it because it'd be too much work, but I'm going to try a few things later on in the video. Yes, I'm pointing to where the lights are going to go. Step, step, step. So we'll have the flickering tea lights on the first and second set of lights there, second set of windows, I'm sorry. And then on the top will be the breathing LED. Now this is a general idea of how I was going to put the lights in. I end up using some thicker stock plastic for that. Plus I cut it down a little bit because put those two pieces together, it wasn't fitting correctly. So starting with the beastie himself, I'm going to start with the head, and you can see right there are a lot of parts to this guy, and for the most part they pretty well hide each other. There are a few seams I go back and take care of with some Vallejo plastic putty. It's just to make it as seamless as I can. Right there. You can see how those two parts go together, and then all the adjacent parts just go in to help cover those existing seam lines. Right there, those little parts right there, those are the ears. So we're going to get those in there. And I got some cement already on there, and pop his ears in there. There you go. Then you got the front half there, the bottom of the jaw. We're going to get some cement in there and pop the tongue and the teeth in there. Perfect. Now, just like the creature kit from earlier, there are a lot of parts that go into the actual creature itself, and especially with the and a lot of parts that go into the beastie here. You don't really realize it once it's all put together. I mean, it's the people over at X Plus did a really nice job of keeping it uniform and all these pieces kind of form-fitting. Not that it doesn't need a little bit of cleanup, just like I got right there. And there's a few parts later on when I put the plastic putty on there. I kind of rough it up just to give it that same kind of texture. And look at that, he's all rubber banded up. And what you're seeing here now is the least amount of time I spent on the entire kit. The assembly of the beast itself took maybe an hour tops between just assembling it, not putting in time for cleanup and gap filling and all that. But yeah, it came out rather well. There he is on the base. There we go. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of lighting on my models, but I figured I did want to light this one, and just very basic lighting, I'll tell you that right now. And I went to, I opted to use this this USB portable soldering iron. It's not bad. You see these like on like Facebook ads and stuff like that. I picked it up, tried it out. Not the best, but you know what? If you need a quick solder, there you go. And look at those sloppy welds there. Not the best, but I'm getting there. Yeah, I just had everything taped down to keep everything together. You can use those helping hands. I actually used them later on, but for these, for the smaller wires, yeah, it's easy to just tape it down. Then we get our shrink wrap. Yep. Careful, kids. That's fire. Right there, just cover up the connections and playing with the lights again, making sure that everything connected properly. And more shrink wrap. Yay! Alright, so the Vallejo plastic putty, I'm just going to go all out and start filling in as much as I can. Like I said, there are a good amount of visible seam marks on this kit, but it's nothing that some putty and a toothpick can't fix. Yeah, like I said earlier, I just some of these are a little roughed up just to kind of mimic the skin texture. There we go. Looks like you got into a tube of toothpaste the wrong way. And as any kind of gap filling, you're going to find more of them that you missed when you prime the actual kit. But yeah, put a seam line right down the middle there. I really would have liked to have seen like that middle section as a separate piece, but I don't get paid to do that kind of stuff. Now, about halfway through this build, I realized that it was taking a lot longer than I had anticipated with my work schedule, so I decided to make it a two-part series. So, I mean, if you're good with that, that's cool. If you're not, I do apologize. But we're going to get this all done, and part 2 should be coming out pretty soon, if you haven't seen it already, after if this video is already up. Alright, I got the painting mask from Aztec Dummy, the great Lou Del Meso over there. He's created a set of masks for this kit. You've got the windows right there, so you can mask off all the panes of glass, and then you've also got masks for the triangular windows in the lighthouse bezel. So we're going to start putting these on there. And yeah, like I said, it's the first time I've actually gotten a chance to use these painting masks, and I had no issues with them. Okay, I had to cut some pieces out of the lamp just to be able to fit in that LED. No worries there, fits perfectly after some sanding there. Just want to make sure I had enough room for those wires, which there we go. And then we're going to drill through the both pieces combined there, so I can still use the rotating section. And of course I had to turn off the light so I could play around with the lamp and see how it looked in the dark. That's not too bad for a coin-sized battery power cell. Looks good there. And next thing we got is the Stynylrus Black. I'm going to go ahead and airbrush him all over. That way, once he dries, I can see if I missed any seams. I can tell you right now, I can see a few of them that I missed before I even start priming it. Guess what? I'm not perfect. So yeah, we're going to get him all primed up, and I've got a pretty cool idea for how I want to paint him up after he's all taken care of with priming and gap filling there. But yep, had fun with that. And of course I wasn't wearing a glove, so I do get primer on my hands. You can't forget the tail there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just taking some tulip fabric paint, the Tulip Slick Black, and I'm putting on one side of that LED just so it's going to completely light block it. And that way I'll get the most light coming from the open-ended source there. And then I'm putting paint on something you're never actually going to see because it's going to be hidden inside the bezel, but I left it in, so I figured I'd use it. Alright, now for these triangular window masks. These were fun. They actually went on easier than the rectangular ones for some reason, but still had a good time doing it. Now typically with any kind of painting mask you want to kind of take the tackiness off of it a little bit, just so it doesn't pull up paint, but since we're going right on clear plastic, I didn't worry about that. My biggest thing was just making sure I had a brand new blade in my X-Acto to get them on there. And yep, the way they created this kit, the two parts right there, they get covered up with masks as well. Okay, just playing around right there, seeing what it might look like on the inside. There we go. And we got a little building next to the lighthouse. A little shack. Then I'm taking some sandpaper, well actually some sanding foam, and I'm just roughing up the inside of those windows just so you don't see the actual bulb on the inside. And with some canopy glue, we're just going to go around the perimeter on the inside and pop the windows in. Get some excess off of there. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so I decided to use some thin plastic card to mount the LEDs to make kind of a ledge that they'll sit on the inside of the lighthouse. There's plenty of room in there. It's not the cleanest that I've done, but they're in there and they work. There we go. And we're just going to hit it with the wow stick. Get a couple holes in there. Didn't even measure it. I figured I'd go as close as I can to each other so I could get those the connectors in. And let's not ruin the cutting mat. Let's just do it on some wood. There we go. Boom. That being said, figured I'd have some fun with that. Yep, I'm using some hot glue to keep that in place. And we're just going to pop those in. Does it look sloppy? Yeah, it looks sloppy. Does it work? Yeah, it works. There we go. I'm going to fit the second one in there as well. Just some ooey gooey hot glue. And it's been a minute since I used hot glue, so I forgot about all those little strands that you get out all over the place. That's okay though, it worked. Okay, so those are all set there. And then I just need to get the wires out of the way so I can put the two halves together eventually. Plus I still need to run the wiring up from the bottom to the top for the actual lamp. And it looks like we're adding a little bit more hot glue, making it a little bit more messy on the inside. Ow, that hurt. There we go. Love it. We're going to test fit it right there. I'm going to go ahead and see what it looks like. Even though the window masks are on, we'll still be able to see something. Hey, there we go. We have light. And I just put both bulbs together in a series. And then once it's primed, you're not even going to see those windowsills, or the window frames rather. And then I'll actually paint over those as well. All right, covering up the top so I don't get any kind of primer on the inside. And just giving a good prime on that bezel itself, going right over the painting mask just like you're supposed to. And then no matter how hard I tried to keep every little piece together, I still ended up losing one. Yep, all those little sections right there, one's on the carpet down there. So, being a model builder, I decided to make my own. It's not the best looking, but fortunately it's on the other side of the lighthouse, so you don't really see it. Just gonna snip it down to size. Click, click with the clippers, and we're all set. Now the railing didn't go down as far as I thought it was going to. Maybe that's me, maybe that's the kit, not too sure, but it still looks good in the end. All right, I'm getting this bronze green on different parts of the lighthouse there. Yep, there's some gaps there, and guess what? They're still there if you push it together. All right, now I got a mix of scale 75 decayed metal and Vallejo game color charred brown. I didn't want to go like really rusty on this, but I think when I do the actual painting on it, I'm gonna put some like algae stains on the lighthouse itself. Not anywhere up towards the top, but all right. So here's where you need that sharp blade. Just gonna carefully get that blade underneath the painting masks and gently pull them up. Now it is sped up, so it doesn't look as gently as I'm talking about, but yeah, they came up with no problems. All right, got some canopy glue there for the that top piece onto the bezel itself. Since I'm using clear plastic, I didn't want to fog it up by using either plastic cement or super glue. So I just used some canopy glue, and it is holding with no problems. There we go, got a good fit, and I'll be doing a little bit more detail painting later on. There are a couple seams in there. I'm going to go ahead and get those filled up too. All right, priming up the actual lighthouse itself. If the weather was nicer outside, I would have just hit it with a rattle can, but it is January in Ohio, and we are pretty much in the middle of a blizzard, so just going to do the best I can with the airbrush. All right, using that tulip fabric paint to go around the perimeter of the windows there, just there, so you don't see any kind of light leaks there. Okay, so we're getting down to the wire on this one. I just want to thank all the new subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I couldn't do it without you. So, hope you like this one, and please stay tuned for part 2 coming up shortly. There's going to be a lot of really cool painting that I do on the BC itself, and yeah, just hope you like it. Going to finish this off with just a little bit of wiring on the lamp, and then by the time you come back, there'll be some things cleaned up and ready to go for the finale. Hey, if you like the video, check out the selection on the left. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, and thanks for watching.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, yay! Ha!